What is up? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin. And as always, I'm joined by Perry.
Hey, Justin. I just wanted to say that you might want to tone it down. They're going to kick us off this podcast platform because you're making all the other podcasters look bad. Okay.
I'll try. No promises. No promises.
I'm in my car, so I'm really sorry if there's a lot of lag or whatever to the video guys.
Yeah, and don't worry, Perry is not homeless. He just recently moved and
no internet.
Doesn't have internet yet. So
I live in the woods.
What we've resulted to.
Yeah, I live in the woods
on an island,
and there's no service at my house, so I had to drive to the big town to sit in my car and record this podcast.
Man, yeah, and you're getting your wisdom teeth out tomorrow, so that's exciting.
All four at once.
Yeah, at least I'm excited.
Yeah, I was really worried about it. And then when he said that he wanted to do all four, I was like, can I be asleep? And he's like, sure. It costs a little more. And I was like, I don't care. So
worth it.
All I got to do is show up. And that's the hardest part. I'm pretty sure it gets easier after that.
Yeah. It gets much easier. I can attest.
Right.
All right. Well, I am going to go over some news because you normally do, but you don't have your computer, obviously.
No, I am on a phone.
But I came prepared this time. So we got, first of all, the Cowboys are going to be without right guard Zach Martin, which is probably their best offensive lineman, on their Thursday game. So, and also Collins may also miss that game, dealing with a neck injury.
So, I was already a little worried about Zeke this week because they're playing Tampa. This is even worse news now. I still think you have to start your studs, right? You're not going to sit Zeke. But I would say that if Zeke has a really rough week one, target Zeke in trades.
Yeah, exactly. And Dak may also have a rough week because that pass rush is going to get to him, and they have a pretty ferocious pass rush.
Right. I try to avoid trading for a quarterback, though, so that rule doesn't exactly apply to Dak, but definitely target Zeke.
I mean, unless you're in a 2-quarterback league or super flex.
Yeah, but quarterbacks are so valuable in those leagues, it's really hard to get them in a trade anyways. But just everybody don't panic when Dallas has a rough week. They're playing Tampa, and Tampa's defense is incredible. So,
yeah, the Jets placed Jamison Crowder on the COVID list, so he will not be starting week one.
Yeah, I saw that too. I wasn't starting Jamison Crowder anyways.
Yeah, I don't think too many people were, but
yeah, he was already on my COVID-19 list. So,
yeah, Jalen Richard on IR for the Raiders. So the Raiders signed Peyton Barber. I don't know if this affects fantasy in any way, but it happened.
No effect.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing the news, not news nobody cares about.
Yeah, I just kind of mixed them all together since. So Darrington Evans is placed on IR. I expected him to have a larger role this season, which this obviously is going to make that difficult with him not playing.
Right.
Yeah, so they got behind Derrick Henry, they have Jeremy McNichols. So just if you're handcuffing Henry, I don't even think McNichols is worth it though.
Right. No, he's not. There's no real handcuff for Derrick Henry now.
Yeah. Evans, once he comes back, should be back to being that handcuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Giovanni Bernard was back at practice today, so he may be playing on our week one, but he's dealing with a high ankle sprain, notorious for re-injury and being out missing so much time. So
yeah, I would expect Gio to miss significant time with a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, but if he is out, I like Leonard Fournette a little bit more this week. I like
Leonard Fournette a lot this week.
Yeah, even Rojo gets a bump too. I think everyone involved.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay, period, this week against Dallas.
Right.
So, right.
Deshawn Watson will be a healthy scratch week one.
Right.
Oh.
No, wait. I heard that he was going to be in the lineup. Like, he's not starting, but he is on the roster.
He's on their roster, but week 1, he's a healthy scratch.
Oh,
that's what I read
okay.
like an hour ago.
I misunderstood that. I thought that meant he was suiting up, but he wasn't starting.
No, as far as I know, he is not. Anthony Miller is out week 1 with a shoulder injury. I don't think he's on too many fantasy teams, but I like what this means for Mooney. Probably get a larger snap percent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Kenny G dealing with a hamstring injury is doubtful for week 1.
Yeah. We're just on this topic. Where are you at on Kenny Golladay? I know that you were pretty high on him.
Yeah.
Great post trade. I mean, I think everybody's lower now on him.
Well, yeah, the injury does that.
Well, I mean, pre-injury, obviously.
I was still higher than most people than him pre-injury. Once he's back, I think he'll, like, week to week, every week he's playing, I think he'll be a good start.
Okay. I haven't
he's by far the week
league.
1. I have him in like 3 leagues. I also have a ridiculous amount of leagues.
Right.
Nikhil Harry is out for 3 weeks. So, I mean, hopefully no one drafted him. I don't know why you did if you did. Yeah. I hope he has a speedy recovery and gets to do lots of fun things that he's good at before he comes back to football, something he is not good at.
Harsh.
Yeah.
It's harsh.
Saquon Barkley is playing week 1. Possibly limited touches, though. They haven't said for sure.
Right. I think we'll probably know more after Thursday's practice.
Yeah.
On Saquon.
Yeah, or we won't, and they'll just continue to be super, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Conservative?
No, just like how they talk to the media, just like
cautious?
They just leave it out in the air, so it could be any option, any range of options.
Malarkey.
Yeah, I'm going with malarkey. It's the best option out of them. They're going to be super malarkey.
Saquon's another one that if they really limit him week 1, I would target for Saquon in trades as well.
I
find that Saquon owner. I know you would, but this is why I didn't ask you, because I know how you feel about Saquon.
Unfortunately for you, Perry, I am the Saquon owner in probably every league we're in together.
I don't know about that. I'm taking him in the draft that we have tomorrow. So
no, you won't. I'm taking him first overall. That's actually everything I have for the news for this week. I don't think I missed anything.
Oh, good on.
But I do want to reiterate that there are a couple players out for the season. Travis Etienne also still out for the season. J.K. Dobbins injured. Who's the other one? Cam Akers out for the season.
Are you targeting Dobbins in trades in Dynasty?
In Dynasty, I do like it quite a bit. Out of them, I am avoiding Cam Akers. I do Dobbins. I'm okay with targeting though.
I've been low on Dobbins from the beginning, from the get-go. And I think that's just pretty much, for me, it just ends it, period. I think that they'll draft a running back this coming season.
If I could get him low enough, then I will, like cheap enough.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's get into some tight end talk, Perry. First of all, I just want to say who the top tight ends are, right?
We talk about you enough, Justin. Sorry. I derail every conversation.
GMM Network says Tampa Bay, one of the best run defenses. What up, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look out for Zeke this week, but start him either way.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Miller's not in Chicago anymore. Yeah, but good point.
I still like Darnell Mooney, though.
Yeah. Where did Miller go to? I forgot where he went to. I don't like him at all as a player, though.
It's pretty insignificant, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about tight ends, Justin.
Yes.
Who's some late round tight ends? You seem to be pretty excited about late round tight ends this season.
I do, because the consensus has shifted from waiting to draft a tight end to getting one of the top 3 guys, meaning Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller. Mm-hmm. And I feel like anytime the consensus shifts one way, it's smartest to shift the other way. Because if everyone's starting to reach on a tight end, then that means people are going to start outdoing themselves and reaching higher and higher. Like at this point, Kelsey has been going around pick 5 in drafts. And I just think that's like, you're drafting him at his ceiling. You're drafting him higher than any wide receiver at that point.
Yeah.
That's his ceiling.
I think in that scenario that you just described, you're absolutely right. But I think that if Travis Kelce drops to the second round, he's worth picking.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. As you get more people saying like, oh, go for the top tight ends early, they don't make it that far.
Right.
I don't even see Kittle or Waller falling to the 3rd in most drafts anymore, which is crazy. All right. But so because of that, I like to wait and grab a tight end towards the end of the draft. One of the ones I like a lot who is there at the very end of every draft. Both of the tight ends I chose, you could get with your last pick, and they're there. Mm-hmm. And that's Anthony Ferkser for the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, Jonnu left the team. Ton of vacated targets there. Julio came in, so he's going to get some targets as well. But I expect them to throw the ball a little bit more as well. And I just think that that's an offense that the tight end is important on. And he as long as he does decent catching the ball, he's going to kill it for where he's being not drafted.
Yeah. I went with who Ferkser took. I went with the guy that replaced.
Who Ferkser replaced.
Thanks.
You went with Jonnu Smith.
Yeah. Just got off work. So I'm not really thinking clearly. Yeah, so I went with Jonnu Smith, who's not exactly a late round tight end in terms of like definition of late round, but the way I kind of thought about it is he's definitely probably closer to like 8, 9, 10 in terms of people's rankings for tight ends this season, which means you can get him fairly late in terms of the tight end world. I fully expect Jonnu Smith to be the number 1 tight end on that team for the entirety of the season, no matter what happens with Hunter Henry. And I actually like the fact that that Cam is gone in terms of the tight end production. I just think that they're going to have a more accurate and efficient pass game now that Cam Newton is not on that team. So I'm actually willing to take a pass catcher on that team as opposed to when Cam was a quarterback.
Real quick, Perry is not in a drive-through. He is in his car though because he doesn't have internet at his new home.
Also, I was in a drive-through.
Yeah, I think there's only one drive-through where you live anyway.
Yeah, and it's a privately owned Dairy Queen. So yeah,
it's weird.
There are not a lot of those left in the United States.
Yeah. All right, my second tight end. After the tight ends, we're going to get into the week 1 starts, by the way. So my second tight end is another guy who is available at the end of the draft, and it's wild because last year he was a lot higher, and that's Austin Hooper for the Browns. I think that they have said they want him more involved in their offense and to get the ball in his hands more. So I think it's crazy that he's as low as he is. I don't like him if I'm drafting a tight end early, but if you wait and the tight end pool dries up, he's a guy that you could get super late. I've been in drafts where almost every team took 2 tight ends, and then I took him at the end of that draft.
Yeah, I think Austin Hooper's ceiling, obviously, by definition, was that huge season in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll never replicate that. I don't think that that's happening ever again. But I think for how late you can get him in this draft, if you decide to wait and legitimately wait on tight end for a really late pick, he's super, super good. And yeah, Justin's right. Last round, you take Austin Hooper. That could work out pretty well. My second tight end is Robert Tanyan. Kind of the same situation as Johnny
Bob.
Smith and what?
Big Bob. Bob
sorry.
Tanyan.
Yeah, Big Bob Tanyan. It's the same situation as Johnny, right? He's not super late round, but in terms of tight end, he's going towards the back end of a tight end one. I am a little surprised that his value is as low as it is, considering that Aaron Rodgers is definitely coming back and there's been that commitment made. Probably the most efficient tight end season we've ever seen last year.
The fear with him is that people are afraid that will not continue.
I don't think that will continue, but I think that he's proven his value on that team, and they will continue they'll use him more than they did last season. So the volume. And
to be fair, with Aaron Rodgers, if you prove yourself to be a reliable target, you get targets.
Exactly. He leans on the guys that provide for him, right? The guys that drop the ball over and over again. He does not lean on them. He does not continue to go back to them. And you can
see it on his face.
Right. Yeah. Whereas Robert Tanyan was definitely reliable all of 2020. I think he'll continue to be reliable in 2021. Obviously, he gets thrown to more. There's more of an opportunity for him not to catch the ball. So he will not have the same efficiency that he had in 2020, but he will have a much higher volume of passes thrown his way. So I'm happy to take Robert Tanyan if I wait late in drafts for a tight end.
If Aaron likes you and he trusts he will throw you the ball, laugh out loud, ask MVS. Yeah, exactly.
Right. MVS would be the opposite of the situation that I just described.
Except he got chances because he was liked. And he just could not. The efficiency wasn't there for him, though. The actual catching of the ball.
It won't continue. The looks will not continue. Not this season.
You quickly go from Aaron Rodgers like to dislike list if that happens.
Yeah. All right, Justin. Let's talk about some starts of our favorite starts of the week here.
I'm excited for this. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one I want to talk about. I've been getting a bunch of messages, phone calls from people as they're drafting. And a guy I've been telling them to look for in their draft because he's available because of how rankings work on these websites. They take a while to get updated. But James Robinson, he's available way past where he should be because a lot of these websites haven't factored in Travis Etienne being out for the season yet. So he's way down the rankings. They get him in the 5th, 6th round, which is just insane. And the week one, he's going to remind everyone who he is. Is James Robinson killed it last season. And now this season, week one, he's playing the Texans, who were dead last against the run last year. I do not expect them to be any better.
James Robinson could be RB1 on the week.
Yeah, absolutely. He killed it. And then the Texans allowed 5.4 yards per carry and 24 touchdowns last season, making them last in the league against the run. James Robinson rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. They drafted a running back, which is why he's been going so low in drafts. That running back got injured for the season. So it's James Robinson's season, 2.0. So, yeah, I expect him to just kill it. Also, he caught 81% of his targets in the air, which put him in the top 10% for fantasy running backs. He is just a good all-around running back that they can lean on. So that's rare to find, especially when you get him where you do, and he could finish, like you said, this week as the running back 1.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if he puts in 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, okay, my first start of the week is Mr. Mike Davis, running back for the Atlanta Falcons, playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. Also a terrible run defense. Mainly, I want to start Mike Davis early in the season as often as I can. I'm expecting a similar pattern to last season where he got off to a really, really good start, especially obviously when Christian McCaffrey went down. Mike Davis proved that he could handle the workload early and started to fall off later in the season. So my strategy when it comes to drafting Mike Davis is to make sure that I get one of these rookie running backs that I like a lot, like Trey Sermon. So that way, if Mike Davis does start to fall off later in the season, I can swap in Trey Sermon. But early on in the season, I'm very excited about Mike Davis. Philly, really terrible matchup in terms of their ability to defend the run. So Mike Davis.
Man, and he's got some amazing quads. So
yeah, it's a quad squad.
yeah, it's part of the squad. I didn't do the. Yeah, I know. I'm upset. I didn't do the news no one cares about, but also.
No, I saw it. I know where you're going.
Which one?
I saw AJ Dillon proposing.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah. His wedding picture.
Yeah, that was an awesome tweet.
yeah. He tweeted out a picture of himself at his wedding. He's like
not the wedding. His proposal.
Oh, proposal. Yeah. So he's down on a knee and he said, "Don't worry, I didn't tear my pants," or something like that.
Yeah. Don't worry, my quads didn't tear my pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I still don't believe. It's impossible.
Yeah. Those are Teflon pants.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. Enough talk about his quads. Enough talk about quads today, I guess.
Let's talk about the guy that you and I both had as starts.
Brandon Ayuke.
Mm-hmm. And you can throw in George Kittle there.
And George Kittle. Yeah, George Kittle for me. Because they're playing against the Lions this week, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
I don't like to choose 49ers for things because am I being biased? But the Lions
no, you're not
just might be the worst team in the NFL. So NFL might even be generous. They might be the worst team in college. So
that's not even true.
Yeah, what was that team that was on ESPN recently? The high school team? High school team?
I don't know. I don't watch ESPN.
Oh, man. So there was you must have missed this story. I'm going to cover it real quick then. So there was a high school team that got featured on ESPN, something Syracuse or something like that. But turns out this team doesn't have a home field. They also don't have an actual facility like a school or a curriculum. And all of their players were between the ages of 23 and 30. And they gave ESPN just a list of names with no numbers next to it. So they didn't even know which players were which on the field. And then they asked the defensive coordinator about a player who made a good play. And they're like, how's he been doing? Or, how's he been doing in practice? Bishop, Sycamore. Thank you. Someone in the chat, Pepe. But yeah, so they said, or they asked him how this guy's been doing, and he's like, I don't even know who that is. He didn't even know his own players. They ended up getting blown out, losing 30-0. So it was fantastic.
To another high school team?
Yeah, to a high school, an actual high school team.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and now they're being investigated.
Okay. Was their quarterback Uncle Rico?
I like to think so.
Yeah.
All right, but back to Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle playing the Lions.
Did you just think about Uncle Rico?
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So the Lions. So what I wrote here is the Lions love to give up receiving touchdowns like T-Pain loves auto-tune. They gave up the most receiving. Shout out to T-Pain, by the way. But they gave up the most receiving touchdowns of any team last year. Brandon Ayuk, I expect to continue to progress and be the wide receiver one for the 49ers. And George Kittle should also benefit from this.
Told you that would happen.
Yeah.
You were all Deebo Samuel this and Deebo Samuel that.
I came around.
Welcome.
But they gave up 38 receiving touchdowns last year. That's crazy. And I think 49ers are going to take full advantage of this. The only thing I worry about is the 49ers getting too big of a lead and then just running the ball. The 49ers could have 100 yards rushing as well from Trey Sermon and Mostert. And, you know, who knows? They might even throw Trey Lance out there to run it for 100 yards on them. Jimmy G could probably run about 40 and then pull a hamstring.
Yeah, no, I have Brandon Ayuk on my list as well for the same reasons. Just player matchups. I mean, yeah, start your studs week 1, of course, but Brandon Ayuk is a stud at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, another start of the week from me is a pair of guys. That's Tom Brady and Chris Godwin. Although I would throw pretty much any of the pass catchers on Tampa Bay out there, at least probably the top 2 for sure, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But I think Chris Godwin is going to return to form this season. He was still good last season, don't get me wrong, but I think that he'll reassert himself as the true number 1 on that team. And then against Dallas, I think Dallas, the only way they win games this season is if they are able to win in a shootout. So every game for them should be pretty close to it, a shootout. Their defense is absolutely terrible, where their offense is incredible. So I think Dallas, despite the fact that they're going to be down 2 offensive linemen, they will still score some points this week, but Tampa Bay will outpace them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Could you imagine Dallas versus the Falcons? Like just an extreme shootout, just points for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be like Dallas in a nutshell this season.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so
you got one more?
Well, I got 2 more. I forgot so I got another running back first. I got Gus Edwards, the bus. So they're playing the Raiders. Week 1, I like him because the Raiders they're a bottom 10 defense against the run. Some of the other defenses that were below them was like the Patriots, who they lost half their defense because they sat out due to COVID. Denver, who didn't have Von Miller and other players who I expect to be much better this year. So I don't expect the Raiders to be much improved. So I think they are giving up over 5 yards per carry last year. Or no, sorry, 4 yards per carry. Gus was averaging 5 yards per carry. So that's fantastic. I think that with J.K. Dobbins out, he should see a big week. If I'm the Gus owner, I'm probably trying to trade him after this week, though. Trade him away because I think that he could see quite a few points and then sell him high.
Yeah, I can't buy into a Ravens running back. I mean, week to week, yeah, I can find weeks where I'd want to start one, but
yeah, and I think this is one of those weeks.
Yeah, you're probably right there, but ideally, I never drafted one. So,
well, I'm right there with you. I don't think I own him in any leagues.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, now I got one more.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then we can answer a couple of the questions. We got a couple of questions down in the chat, so I'll throw those up there. Sure. So Rondell Moore, rookie wide receiver for the Cardinals, going against the Titans. Obviously, this one a little bit more risky than some of the others. Rondell Moore, being a rookie, we haven't seen him perform, especially at this level. But he's a guy who, after this week, I think he could be the lead guy in waivers. You could see everyone rushing to the waiver wire to get him. So you could pick him up now before that happens.
Yeah.
The Titans have been really bad at stopping wide receivers. They're trying to address it, but that's not an easy thing to do when you have D-Hop across from Rondell Moore on the other side of the field.
Right.
But he also, so dude's super fast, like top 95% in every metric. But then also his profile picture on Player Profiler is of Ant-Man. So you got to factor that in. And that just makes him so much cooler.
Consider it factored.
Yeah. So I love him. I think that he could have a huge week this week and then be one of those players that you just see skyrocket after week 1 for his value.
Yeah. I really like Rondell Moore this season in general.
All right. Now I'm going to bring up 2 of these things. We'll start with the first one because that's how you have to do it. Yeah. So this guy wants us to rate his 10-man league.
Oh, I can read it.
I know. I'm going to read it out loud, though, because there's also an audio part of this. Kyler, Derrick Henry, Chris Carson, D-Hop, Robert Woods, Logan Thomas, and then his flex is OBJ, and he has the Rams defense. And honestly, the only part I don't like about this is OBJ.
Yeah. I'll give the rest of the team probably like an A-. But the OBJ section, I mean, the flex on OBJ. I mean, is this PPR or anything? We don't know.
Yeah, full PPR.
Oh, full PPR. I see. Okay, I mean that helps a little bit, but yeah, OBJ. I don't know what the other options are, but I would try and find a replacement for that.
Hopefully,
I hope that we're wrong about OBJ. I hope we're wrong about OBJ. I hope he returns to form and is an incredible. But I just don't see it happen.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with you there because I really like being right. Oh,
I know you like being right. I like being proven wrong.
All right, next one. Who you think won this trade? I traded DK Metcalf and Kenny G for Justin Jefferson and Robert Woods. I think you won. Justin Jefferson and Robert Woods go with them.
Yeah. I think the Jefferson Woods wins here for sure. I like DK a lot. I really like DK a lot.
But I really like Justin Jefferson
I think
too.
Yeah, I really like Justin Jefferson. I guess it really comes down. I think those two are kind of a toss up, and it comes down to Woods versus Golladay. And with the Golladay injury, obviously,
even before the injury, I had Woods over Golladay.
Yeah. I think you won. Good trade.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. All right. Well, we are officially back, Perry. It's week 1 of the NFL. This is exciting. I'm happy.
I know. I get week 1 off of work too because they're going to cut 4 holes in my mouth. So nice. I get to actually watch all the games this week. I'm excited about that. I'm going to go over to producer Sean's house and just take over his couch on Sunday.
Nice.
Sorry, Kaylee. Sorry to his wife. But his dogs will be excited. They like me a lot. So
yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. I will have internet before our next episode. That is they should. I have an appointment. You better show up, internet company.
Yeah, so you won't be in your car. I can't make any in a couple weeks. I might be in mine, so we'll see.
Right. Well, you have 2 houses. Why?
Yeah, because the internet will have to get moved from one to the other. So there may be a point where I have 0 internet.
You should call him now and set up an appointment because I made the mistake of waiting and it's taken 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I need to do that. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Well, let's cut it here and we will see everyone after week 1.
Goodbye.